Second speaker is Sherie Stark, and Sherie Stark will be giving her first 5 to 7 minute speech on the subject near and dear to her heart, becoming a semi-vegetarian for the planet's, for the planet's health. Let's hear becoming a vegetarian for the planet's, semi-vegetarian for the planet's health. Sherie Stark.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Do I have screen share? I'm not sure how to request that, but we're going to have some screen share as part of this.
Roman?
Sherie, I did, so you probably do.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Most people I know have an interest, theoretically at least, in preserving our world for future generations. We have no planet B to migrate to if this one gets too bad, so we have a vested interest in maintaining this one as our home. To stop the escalating climate disasters we're seeing around the world, the floods, fires, tornadoes, and droughts. Some people think even the pandemic itself has been climate related. The question on a day-to-day basis, though, is how much am I willing to sacrifice for this crucial but still somewhat abstract goal? Will I invest thousands of dollars to put solar panels on my roof? I really do care a lot, but so far I haven't made any commitments that big. There are a few things I've started doing, like composting my kitchen scraps back into the garden, bringing my own bag to the supermarket, and driving an electric car around town at least. The most effective thing I've done, by far though, I think, is the biggest bang I've gotten for the buck, has been to eat less beef. I don't know why it's not publicized more, because it's really a whopper, pun intended. The fact is that raising cows for beef is inefficient. To produce 1 pound of beef, it takes 1,800 gallons of water, 9 times the amount of water it takes to produce soybeans, 18 times the amount it takes to produce corn. As this chart shows, the positive impact we'd see from cutting out beef from our diets is huge. Chicken, pork, eggs, and dairy are all so much better for the environment than beef. It's the cows that are the pollution hogs here. They use up a ton of our natural resources. Plus, they emit a crazy amount of methane in their farts and burps, which always makes me laugh to imagine, but it's really serious stuff, evidently. When I found this out, I decided to see if I could shift my taste buds gradually, try to be more creative in my cooking maybe, and see if my family and I would be okay with eating less beef. I started taking baby steps toward becoming a semi-vegetarian. I knew this couldn't be an all or nothing proposition, or I wouldn't stick with it. I still have beef once in a while, my special filet mignon at the fancy steakhouse, my chili dog at Pink's on the rare occasion we drive by and there isn't a line. But at home, I've started making a wider variety of chicken dishes. Chicken parmesan, chicken fajitas, serving fish more, having more beans and lentils, more whole grains like quinoa and couscous. For the dishes I used to use beef for, my chili, meatloaf, meatballs, I started substituting healthier ground meats like chicken and turkey. All the same seasonings and sauces, so they taste pretty much the same. Nobody at my house has seemed to even notice, I don't think. My next step was to start experimenting with the various plant proteins on the market, like soy sausage and Beyond Beef. I especially like tofu, a staple in Asian kitchens for millennia, because it comes in so many different textures. The firm version is my favorite because it fries up kind of crispy, chewy like sausage and absorbs whatever sauce you cook it in. These various meat substitutes are tasty enough on their own, but most of the time I just use them to stretch out my meat or egg dishes, adding them in a supporting role, so to speak. I also add onions, garlic, mushrooms, and peppers, so by the time I'm done, the dish is really only half meat, but totally savory and infused with meaty flavors. And the spicier the better. For us, I can never really go wrong when I add more spices. The biggest step in my cooking transformation, though, has been simply focusing on the amazing variety and flavor of good produce. I'm becoming something of a vegetable groupie, seeking out local farmers markets, seeing what the sellers have that they're proud of week to week. The difference between fresh off the vine, perfectly ripe, peak produce, and blando frozen or canned vegetables is truly astounding. I love trying new types of vegetables and Googling all the various ways to cook them. I recently discovered bok choy cabbage at my daughter's suggestion, actually, because she loves Asian food. And I sauteed it in some sesame oil and Chinese chili paste, adding eggplants, scallions, peanuts, and mushrooms, and had a truly exotic meal. Experimenting inspires me to keep it fun. Variety is the spice, not only of life, but of cooking. I also have been inspired by a trendy California restaurant called Lemonade, which has a kind of fusion style of combining unexpected flavors and textures. It's one of our favorite restaurants because of that element of surprise, asking ourselves, what are the new combinations of vegetables they'll have for us today? Will we go with our favorites or try that new one over there with the fava beans? One of my favorites there is charred broccoli salad with ricotta cheese. Another favorite is the avocado, cherry tomato, and pine nut salad. Another is the roasted curried cauliflower with raisins and toasted almonds. They have a nice recipe book, but I don't really like following recipes. I like improvising with what's available in the fridge, kind of a jazz approach to cooking. The thing that inspired me most was Lemonade salad bars, is they're roasted in oil, melt in your mouth vegetables. So throughout the week, I prepare a rotating assortment of them. Carrots, beets, turnips, Brussels sprouts, pre-cooked and ready to be tossed into salads or used in omelets or rice bowls. I also splurge on gourmet extras to keep my salads exciting. Fancy olives, sun-dried tomatoes, artichoke hearts, crunchy jicama, flavored vinegar and oils, hummus spreads and tahini, garbanzo beans. Am I making you hungry here? As you can tell, I'm eating less meat, but I'm not really missing it. I'm saving money because most of these other foods are less expensive than meat. And last but not least, all this is very good for mine and my family's health. Plant-based eaters are much less likely to develop a variety of illnesses, much less likely to be overweight, and we tend to have more pep and energy. Plus, we live longer by an average of 6 to 9 years. Just imagine the extra fun of those years. I'm pretty sure I'm never going to go cold turkey, or maybe I should say cold pastrami since we're talking about beef mostly. But I'm happy to be an evolving semi-vegetarian, and I'm happy to have found a way to help the planet I can not only afford, but I actually enjoy with gusto and a fruit salad on the side. And I'm really not going to miss those cow farts. Thanks, and here's to our and our planet's health.